Hello YouTube and welcome to another strange review. This one I'm going to review of AIRFIX's Little Soldiers 1959 to 2009. This is by Jean-Christophe Carbonel and it's translated from the French by Alan Mackay. There is a few little grammatical errors in the translation here and there, but nothing majorly to worry about. It's quite a nice little book and it's quite informative. It's not a absolute fantastic read, there's not a lot of literature in there, but it's all really about the images and giving certain kits timelines and things like that. So it's well worth having if you can find it. It's taken me quite a while to get this book. Some of the prices that I've been quoted were just ridiculous, but I managed to get it for about £30, and that's obviously 2019 April, so £30 this book cost me. You will see it going for more. It is a paperback version. There is, I don't know if there's even a hardback version of this book, but if there is, it's probably well worth picking up. It basically just describes the genesis of the AIRFIX kits. The first kit being the Guards band, which AIRFIX produced, and then it'll go right the way through. It's got great images inside the book, and it tells you here box arts, things like that, what the first type of soldiers really looked like. You've got the images here for just general packaging called infantry. Which basically in the late 50s to 60s was all they were really doing. Nice box art. Even back then the box art was pretty good. Some people might remember this gun piece which you would have on in this particular pack. You can see here we've got farm animals, and we've got probably the first version of the Germans here and the second version of the German infantry here. Over here you have civilians. Now the scale was always HOOO scale, which was basically to match railway tracks and railway engines at the time, which railway kits were really popular. Things like Hornby were probably still around then, probably in the Genesis and these sort of eras. And that scale was pretty sort of pertinent if you want to stand them up next to trains. So the scale, that's where it sort of originated from. And here we go, it mentions the sculptors, and it actually tells you the names. John Nibbett, 1956, was already producing 1-inch high at 187, sold virtually, oh yeah. Now there's nice little nuggets of information in this book, so it is well worth a look. There we go, the French Foreign Legion, German Africa Corps, first version. Here we go with the American Union and the American Confederates. The Arabs, the Bedouins, box art again. He even gives you much information on the box art, who's doing it, things like that. So it's all, you know, quite interesting really. US Marines, that's the first version there. Nice box art. Right, and you can see here, there's the first version down the bottom. Here's our Russians, Japanese. So the kits now are beginning to take shape. Here's our Robin Hood era. We've got Sheriff of Nottingham, and we've got Robin Hood's men. US Cavalry now. There's the infamous British paratroops at the bottom. Original artwork there. So if ever you wanted to know probably where Plastic Soldier get a lot of their information, Plastic Soldier Review, this will probably be it. Does have a lot of little detail in there. There's not a lot of writing, but certainly for information wise there's certainly enough to satisfy most people. Here we go with the World War One stuff, and it's saying these, well, there's the Romans that were released in the 1970s. And in 1971 it's saying the Foreign Legion was brought up to date with a new sculpt, so they obviously revitalised that kit. There's our British Commandos. And this is the start of the Waterloo range, so that's, I believe, is the 1970s when the Waterloo range started to creep in. And there's possibly a bit of the American Revolution there. That's the guy carrying gunpowder at the top, which everyone got confused. Was it a barrel of beer or something? Which did cause a lot of confusion, but it was actually gunpowder. There's AIRFIX British Grenadiers, which was again to go against the set of American Line Infantry. But they only ever did 2 sets, so there was the American Infantry and there was the British Grenadiers. I don't believe there was any other sets apart from that. There's the AIRFIX Astronauts, which was popular. There's the AIRFIX British Infantry. And it literally goes right the way through here. Waterloo British Artillery, very nice, that's quite a nice kit. And there's our Australian. Now in the back you have like a timeline, which is quite good. I'm just going to flick through this so you get an idea of the book. And we're running all the way up now to basically the end. We're coming to the end now, look. Now, because we're on to Italian infantry, so you know the end's coming. It's not going to be far away. Here we have the play sets and the battle sets, so that's rather interesting. Quite interesting indeed. We've got the tanks, look at that. You've got the Morris gun tractor there, the 25 pounder. You've got a tank tractor. You've got a landing craft, you've got, you know, really is a lot of stuff there. Zoo. Here's the dioramas, or they call them assault sets. There's our Waterloo. So really good. Even war games, Waterloo war game there, which is obviously using AIRFIX figures. Rio shoes, so these are people using AIRFIX sort of kits and things. Well, here we go. And this is Hella using AIRFIX figures, just different box art. We've even got IMAX who are in on the game. NPC I'd never heard of, but they do feature quite heavily in this game. He refers to NPC quite a lot. Battle of the Pacific. Now we're into the competitors. So these are the brand names. You're going to get Esky and things like that. So let's just see what this reveals. We've got Atlantic who are kicking off the first part. Baravelli, obviously Italians. The Italian firm from the 70s produced the so-called Mini Zero range, and there looks like quite a lot of Yeah, and they used pirated copies of AIRFIX, so these will be quite familiar. ESCI, created before the war, the Company Foreign Trade, Italian colonies, which is what ESCI stands for. And here we go, the hard plastic range obviously kicked off. And then we go into their softer plastic range, which is of course what we see here. And pretty much ESCI really did put AIRFIX under pressure because their kits were very, very good. And it was what people wanted, really. Here we go with Matchbox. 1976 they actually got into the figures. And it just says they made quite a strong impression, which they would have done. I mean, some of the kits were just brilliant, so I can really understand that. Price. Now this is where we start with the timeline, which is quite informative here. So 1959 you've got the Guards Band. 1960 we've got the first infantry set. Same there, Africa Corps came in that same year. 1963 the Marines appear. 1964 Russian infantry and Japanese. The Arabs, Robin Hood. So 60s begin to be quite a busy period here. And here we go, the sides of the box is used for AIRFIX little soldiers. 1968, we've got the World War I, looks like the Royal Horse Artillery. 1969. So yeah, crux of the kits were done in the 60s. And here we go, Waterloo. 1972, we're still going with the Waterloo style theme. 1976, we've got the Australian infantry and the German mountain troops, German paratroops and the Gurkhas, so some good sets came through there. 1977, Luftwaffe personnel. 1980, so we're starting in the demise now. 1994, British SAS not produced, so there you go. It's just further confirmation on that one. And there's another little colour image there. We've got the US Marines, we've got the early British infantry, we've got the German Africa Corps, we've got the Gurkhas, we've got the US paratroops, we've got the German paratroops, and we've got possibly Luftwaffe personnel on the bottom. So I just thought I'd give you a little look at this. This is what I have, and you know, so sometimes I take a little glance through that, but that is the book, AIRFIX's Little Soldiers. And yeah, it's not a bad little book. So anyone else got something, or anyone else didn't know this book existed, there you go. I'm quite sure I'll get a few comments. But yeah, it's a very interesting little book, so I just thought I'd do a little video on it. Thanks for watching, and I've got the review of the Waterloo diorama coming up, so stay tuned for that. I just thought I'll mention this book and get that done. So there you go. If you're interested, like I say, good luck. I find it quite difficult to get hold of for a decent price, so just be careful there. Okay, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.